Yeah, I was
I
like,
will turn up the
It
volume.
is.
Not hearing anything.
The volume on this. What we would hear.
You made me dizzy.
Sorry. Okay, well, we'll just go ahead and start and
we'll wing it.
hopefully it's recording. It does say it is, so, but no, normally it says recording start, right? So
recording in progress.
okay, so it is 7:01 and sorry, there's a lot of feedback there. It's 7:01 and we are starting the regular council meeting for the Township of Nipigon for Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Calling this meeting to order. We'll start with our land acknowledgement. In the spirit of reconciliation, the Corporation of the Township of Nipigon respectfully acknowledges it is located on the traditional lands of the Red Rock Indian Band, signatory to the Robinson Superior Treaty of 1850. And the township further respectfully acknowledges the historic presence of other signatories on these lands. CEO, are there any addendum to the agenda this time? Nope. Okay, seeing none, we'll go on to disclosures of pecuniary interest. Does anyone have any disclosures? Nope. I have one here and it is for items 5A and 5B, which are involved with my employer Superior Country. So I'll be stepping up for those. And I believe Councillor Cartwright, since your name starts with C, you are up as the deputy mayor, lucky you. So if you can pass that off to CEO Cobbin, please. Thank you. Okie dokie. All right, so we'll move on to 3A, approval of previous council minutes. So this is for January 13th, 2026 from the regular meeting minutes. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about those minutes? Any comments or anything? Okay, so we have a resolution here. Who would like to move? Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Harper. Okay, so this is resolution 2026-014, moved by Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that this council approves the regular meeting minutes of January 13th, 2026 as presented. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Sorry about that. Okay, finance. Item 4A. January 14th, 2026 Finance and Budget Committee meeting minutes. These are draft minutes. So we do have a resolution actually for those to approve those minutes. Does anyone have any questions? So just to remind everybody, the Budget Committee is made up of 2 councillors and our CAO. So Mayor and Council, so myself and Councillor Harper. So we had a preliminary finance and budget committee meeting. Any questions? Students have any questions about the budget? No, or budget meeting? Okay, who would like to move this resolution to accept these minutes? Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Thank you. Resolution 2026-015, moved by Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council receives January 14th, 2026 Finance and Budget Committee meeting minutes for information. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, item 4B under finance, 2026 interim tax bylaw. So this is again a bylaw that we pass every year around this time to make sure that we can continue collecting taxes even though our budget's not approved, which is generally not approved until February, March, something like that. So that's when all of our funding usually starts coming in, and you know, we get
And the
levies, confirmation of the OPP levy and things like that. So that's why we don't actually have the budget finalized for another month or two. So who would like to move this one? Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Hart. So this is resolution 2026-016, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Hart. Be it resolved that this council gives 3 readings and approves bylaw number 2014 being a bylaw to provide for an interim tax levy and the payment of interim taxes for the year 2026. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Let's see. Okay. All right, so next we have another resolution. This is under the 2025-26 pothole prevention and repair program. So this is, we found out that we received this via email. I believe it was 2 weeks ago, around the time that our last meeting was supposed to happen, which is great. So $38,000, and I believe we're putting that towards, it was eligible for our hot box that we
Yeah.
purchased.
And they clarified that we can use it for capital purchases, and it applies to previous expenditures, so this one's easy and fairly automatic. And we received the full amount, the 38,000. So
That's awesome.
grateful for that. And it'll go right into the coffers.
That's great. And I understand that our EDO did that application, so thank you, Brianna, for that. I know you said it was an easy one, but they still have to be completed, and if you don't complete them and hand them in, you don't get the money, just like if you don't buy a lotto ticket, you don't win, right? Too bad we can win the lottery, that'd be great,
Yeah.
make things a lot easier. Okay, so obviously we're gonna accept this money, so who would like to move this resolution? Counselor Westhaver, second by Counselor Cartwright. Resolution 2026-017, moved by Counselor Westhaver, seconded by Counselor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council authorizes staff to accept the 2025-26 pothole prevention and repair program funding in the amount of $38,000 and direct staff to complete the transfer payment agreement and fulfill all reporting requirements. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, once again, congratulations to our staff on that. All right, next is our council business and administration. So this is the items A and B that I have declared pecuniary interest on. So I am going to step out of the room with my chapstick and my water, and you can call me when it's all done, okay?
Yeah.
And
Row 9.
Dan, Executive Director of Superior Country, is present. He's not going to give a presentation from my understanding, but he is here to answer any questions if anyone has any. And there will be, I leave this with you, Deputy Mayor Cartwright. There are, I think, 2 resolutions are okay.
You might need your mic.
Okay, so we have an annual status report from the Superior Country, and they said, Dan, you're not going to give us a.
I can give you a quick rundown if you want.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so this is based off of the 2025 Municipal Accommodation Tax Committee, managed by Superior Country. In 2024, a total of $16,456.16 was collected in Q4 for the MAT. Then 50% came to us, so the $8,200. So not a ton to work with within that year. But what we did end up doing is we set the terms of reference. We created a committee to oversee those funds. Brianna and myself both sit on that committee as non-voting members. The rest are made up of community members within the terms of reference. From there, we leveraged about $5,000 into a $21.5 thousand the tourism marketing plan, which is the next item on the agenda. So a lot of our concentration really went towards getting that plan done and getting the committee set up. That being said, once we started receiving drafts of the plan, we started acting within it as much as we could, without having any expenditures at least. So getting the groundwork done. So come January, we were able to move forward full steam ahead. Some of those items, the main recommendation from that plan was the development of a standalone tourism-based website, social media platforms, and things of that nature. So we started the development, we started developing the RFP on that and issuing it, and then awarded it come January. Moving into the next year now, we're anticipating a larger budget, obviously, because of the full 4 quarters being into effect. So as soon as we get that number from the CAO, we'll be able to start acting within that budget or start operating within that budget. However, I will say that the committee did meet early January and passed a preliminary budget just so that we kept the ball rolling and we kept momentum moving forward. And that's about it for the annual plan.
Okay, and I think we've all read the extensive 5-year tourism product development and marketing plan. You have a question?
How many people in the community are on the committee?
I believe right now we have 3 or 4 voting members.
Yes.
And then we have 2 non-voting members as well. Technically a third. We have a Superior Country staff person on there as well, in addition to myself for taking notes. All of which are Nipigon residents, but voting members as of right now it's 3 or 4. 4.
But there's open positions.
Yes, there's 4 and there's also open positions, one of which I really want to fill is a position for an accommodation owner. So we that remains at the top of our list, is filling those empty seats. I will say from previous communities that I managed the municipal accommodation tax for, it's always hard to fill every single seat, but it's a constant thing that we just have to pay attention to and remember that we're trying to do that.
Well, just to have 3 voting members is great.
It's good to get input and then also to get information out as well, correct? We are anticipating that as we go into this year and we see more development and more things come of the municipal accommodation tax, it will attract additional people to sit on the committee once they see things like, for instance, in the tourism marketing plan, the development of the Nipigon Tourism Fund is in there, where people are able to apply for dollars from the mat, and we could give it towards like events and things like that to draw more people in and ultimately put heads in beds.
Yeah.
I think once the accommodation sector learns of initiatives like that, there hopefully will be some more interest again.
Thank you.
Len, did you have something? Anyone else? Okay. So we are, I guess we have a motion to receive the Superior Country annual status report and annual certificate for information as presented. Do we have a motion? Gail? Motion, Gail Westhaver. Seconded by Greg Harper. All in favor? Okay. Okey-dokey, and then we have a second motion that be resolved that this council receives the January 2026 Superior Country Township of Nipigon 5-year tourism development and marketing plan and adopts it as present. Gail Westhaver. And seconded by Greg Garber. Okey dokey, and I think that's all we have to do with the yes. Oh, all in favor? Okay. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Okay. Sorry, that's all we have to do with the Superior Country.
It's a little time for it to run here.
Not sure what.
You have to
And
sign.
the entire
sign that.
marketing plan is actually in the package too.
No, it's good if we had a couple of explanations.
And
That's
it's
good,
on
yeah.
the website.
Yeah, now that you guys have approved this.
Yeah.
We'll get it out there.
Okay. All right, so the next thing that we have here is the in-kind, 2026 in-kind contributions policy. So I have to, this package was split up into a couple of pieces. So just want to go into our second piece for that one. All right, so our in-kind contributions policy, this is just something that our CAO put together to more quickly and easily deal with anyone who and requests for contributions that aren't sort of cash requests. So we did have someone ask for a donation for something. So we just we're thinking that maybe it would be easier for just the staff to make those decisions and deal with those if they don't have to do with cash. So did everyone have a chance to look over the draft policy there? Anyone have any concerns or anything about that? Okay. Students have any concerns about that? No, you think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we have, yes, for sure.
You
Go ahead.
you think we, if we pass it on to staff, would there be like a limit that if it was over about whatever we set, that we see that?
Oh, it's like they're gonna be like I said, well,
There's in the policy itself, there's a limit of, $200 in essentially foregone revenue or indirect costs. Anything above that will go to council.
yeah,
And anything below that is in any way sort of kind of pushing on the parameters or the framework of it will come to council. These are for sort of like really straightforward
Okay,
cases where, the need is great, the request is small, and just allows us to deal with it efficiently, not
Okay.
have to wait for
Yeah.
council.
well, thank you. I wasn't aware of that.
yeah, under approval of authority, council may delegate authority to the CEO to approve minor in-kind contributions, low cost, yeah, so.
I didn't know 200 was.
Yeah, so something like the Fall Fishing Festival, for instance, they would come every year to ask us because it's quite an in-kind. It's worth probably about at least $5,000 that the in-kind contribution we do for that. So that's
Yeah.
different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so who would like to move that we accept this policy? Anyone want to move? Okay, Councillor Westaver, seconded by anybody? Yeah, Councillor Harper. Okay, so this is resolution 2026-020, moved by Councillor Westaver, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that this council approves the in-kind contributions corporate policy and procedure issued by the Office of the CAO February 10th, 2026, and delegates authority to the CAO clerk to approve requests for minor in-kind contributions as described in the policy. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Oh boy, this is a long one.
Yeah.
All right. Our next item on the agenda is the Lakehead Region Conservation Authority Support Resolution. So this is a resolution that we received from the Dorian Council. And since they have a conservation area, the Her Pit Conservation Area there that is overseen by the Lakehead Region Conservation Authority, and the provincial government would like to consolidate that all into one. This is just a support for them to sort of have a separate one for Northern Ontario. Okay, so before I go ahead and read this, I'm assuming you guys did read it. Do we have a mover? So I don't want to read the whole thing. Okay. Councillor Harper, and who would like to second it? All right, Councillor Hart. Okay. Resolution 2026-21, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Hart. Whereas the Conservation Authorities Act 1946 enables municipalities to establish local conservation authorities, and when municipalities choose to form such authorities, they assume responsibility for governance and funding through the appointment of a board of directors and the provision of an annual levy to cover expenses. And whereas the municipalities within Lakehead Region established the Needing Valley Conservation Authority in 1954, which enlarged to the Lakehead Region Conservation Authority, LRCA, in 1963. And whereas local municipalities currently provide approximately 50% of total conservation authority funding, while the province of Ontario provides approximately 5%. And whereas municipalities have governed their respective conservation authorities for decades, tailoring programs and services to local watershed needs, maintaining accountable service standards, and ensuring fair and predictable costs for ratepayers. And whereas conservation authorities collectively own and manage thousands of hectares of land, much of which was donated by local residents and entrusted to conservation authorities as a personal legacy for long-term protection, stewardship, and the public good, with the expectation that such lands would be cared for by locally governed conservation authorities. And whereas Bill 68, Schedule 3 proposes the creation of the Ontario Provincial Conservation Agency, a crown corporation that would assume governance responsibilities and consolidate Ontario's 36 conservation authorities into 7 regional authorities with municipal cost apportionment yet to be defined. And whereas the province already possesses the authority to establish overarching legislation, regulations, and standards through the Conservation Authorities Act and the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks. Now therefore be it resolved that the Township of Nipigon calls on the Government of Ontario to maintain local, independent, municipally governed, watershed-based conservation authorities to ensure strong local representation in decisions related to municipal levies, community-focused service delivery, and the protection and management of conservation lands. And that while the Township of Nipigon supports provincial goals for consistent permit approval processes, shared services, and digital modernization, imposing a new top-down agency structure without strong local accountability and governance risks creating unnecessary costs, red tape, and bureaucracy, thereby undermining efficiency and responsiveness to local community needs. And that the Township of Nipigon supports efforts to balance expertise, capacity, and program delivery across the province, and requests that the province work collaboratively with municipalities and local conservation authorities to determine the most effective level of strategic consolidation to achieve both provincial and local objectives. And that the Township of Nipigon is opposed to the proposed Huron Superior Regional Conservation Authority boundary, the configuration outlined in Environmental Registry Notice 2025-1257. And that the Township of Nipigon recommends that the Lakehead Region Conservation Authority from the north form the Northwestern Ontario Regional Conservation Authority, and that the ministry engage directly with affected municipalities of the Lakehead Region Conservation Authority before finalizing any consolidation boundaries or legislative amendments, and that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Environmental Registry of Ontario consultations, and to the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks and its opposition critics, local members of provincial parliament, local members of parliament, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, Conservation Ontario, all local municipalities, and all conservation authorities in Ontario. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay. Okay, item 5E does not have a resolution assigned to it. It is for information only. So this is the report that I developed, generated from our mine and CEO Cobbins attendance of Roma conference and AGM, and the AGM, I guess, is in it as well. The Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference. I guess I'll just go through it real quick. We had 2 delegations, one with the Honorable Michael Kersner, the Solicitor General. So that was in regards to the funding for fire protection and to extend the firefighting deadline, training deadline to go at least 2 years past July 1st, which is aligning with what NOMA has been asking for as well, and other municipalities. What would you say the response was?
Well, we did receive a commitment from the Deputy Fire Marshal's office to come here for training. So
Yeah.
I have discussions next week with our fire chief and some of the surrounding municipalities about organizing those training sessions. So they're willing to come here to deliver training.
That's great.
So that part was good. We did receive some direction on where best to look for purchasing a new fire rolling stock. The fire chief next week to explore that in a little more detail. Other than that, they advised us that the 20-year stipulations in the guidelines are mostly insurance driven, so to speak with our insurance broker. But I think the problem with our second pumper truck is it's the pump itself is undersized relative to those guidelines. So I don't know if that's entirely. It's both too old and too weak.
Right.
So I don't know that we'll have any success there. So I would classify that as a semi-productive delegation.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilor Rossiter.
When they come for the training, is that something that we have to cover costs for, or like to do the training, even though they're mandating it to be done?
That's a good question. The sense I had from our discussion was that we wouldn't be on the hook for it, but it's very early in the stages of planning, so I don't have the figure yet.
Anyone else? Questions on that? We did request a meeting with the MTO. They declined our meeting, stating that they were too busy. I did attend an MTO meeting with NOMA though, and the minister of MTO was not there. It was another minister. So yeah, that didn't go too far, but that's okay. And then we met with the opposition party and basically just talked to them about the issues that we had planned on discussing with MTO and the issues with the Solicitor General.
They do housing too?
That was with NOMA,
Yeah.
or sorry, NOMA, yes, the Northern Ontario Municipal Association delegations. We sat in on, either one of us or both sometimes sat in on the delegations. One of them was with MTO about highway safety and the other one was, sorry, move down here. The other one was about municipal affairs and housing. So talking about communities under 20,000 requiring a program designed
Yeah.
specifically for that scale, which last year I had a delegation about that one-on-one with the ministry, and here we are still.
Okay.
So yeah, we continue to try and see what happens. Ministry of Finance, CAO Quabbin attended Horton Payne's delegation to talk about the proposed new tax subclass for new residential builds for Northern Ontario communities under 5,000, I think it was,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So that, you said that went okay.
It was with the parliamentary assistant, Dave Smith. It wasn't with the Minister of Finance, and of course, some staffers. I would describe their response as sort of lukewarm to the idea. From their perspective, it's a problem on the assessment side, which I think misunderstands to a degree how MPAC conducts its work and what the sort of formula is based on. They didn't completely say no, but neither were they sort of largely positively responsive. Seemed very cool to the idea. I am following up with some contacts with the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and the Property Tax Division, just to make sure they understand the scope of the proposal, sort of what we're asking for and why we're asking for it. So maybe there's some follow-up there, but in terms of the delegation itself, they didn't seem keen.
Okay, any questions on that? Nope. Next, just a quick sort of summary of some sessions that we attended. One was on polarity thinking, which was interesting. So trying to walk the line between priorities and like to have kind of thing, and how there are no rights or no wrongs, just like levels of right or levels of, I guess,
Wants and needs.
yeah. So, and it was pretty interesting. It was good. Getting information to residents was another one. So that was interesting. There's, folks that have whole communication departments and communication people that we don't have. So it was not super relevant, but just a couple of ideas that our staff might be able to use. Yeah, we happened to get Premier Ford right when Prime Minister Carney had signed the deal with China to get the EVs over, and so he was talking about them spying on us through our vehicles and everything. I just thought I'd put that in for a little humor. It kind of made everyone raise their eyebrows a little bit and
But Google already does
wonder
that.
what he had in his coffee, but yeah. So anyways, that was interesting. But he's always a good speaker. And of course, the regular stuff, threats from President Trump, infrastructure, housing, homelessness, healthcare, energy. networking dinners. Yeah, so it was it was
Yeah, no.
eventful, lots of stuff.
Now he wants our bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. And rents. Okay, anything else on that before we move on? Any questions for us? No? Okay. All right, next we have correspondence in regards to Splake restocking in Loftus Lake. So we did receive a letter from Taylor Lewin and Mr.
Just had a
Nathan.
question.
Funk
about
is
the
here. Yeah.
from here on behalf of people, but did you guys send her some link? She's trying to attend.
Oh,
I
no, did she request a Zoom?
I don't.
She
know.
has to request it from the administration in
I
order
didn't
to,
receive-
okay. Okay,
Is that possible to get that now, or is that something we can't do? Is it like take a while? If she, I'm just texting. She can, I guess she can.
are you able to send her a link?
I am, yep,
Yeah.
that's her email.
Because I can't.
This one's
Part
really,
of the
I
text
know
is
nothing about fish. Yeah,
You might have a little bit of a strange signal.
Yeah,
Do you have her email?
I have to sell.
I can send it to her.
Oh, okay. See, sorry.
so just while they're going through that, so basically I'll just summarize for people tuning in and people in the room here. There's a concern that MNR is looking at potentially stocking Loftus Lake with Slake.
They already have.
Oh, they have, okay. It was stopped apparently in 2018 and then I guess, or from my understanding from this letter, I thought they were just thinking about it. To be clear too, we have not received anything from the MNR in regards to any information on that, which we would normally do. So I just, I don't know if anyone knows too much about the ecology, the biology of Loftus Lake or fish in general, but yeah, we do need a little bit more information before we, I think we can talk about it, but I think before we commit to any advocacy or anything like that.
You got Kathy with.
Yeah, well, we do need to talk to someone who currently works at the MNR, not just someone who used to, so.
There's some things that I would question that are.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
because there are walleye in there, there's always been walleye in there, but they are a naturalized introduced species.
Your microphone.
right. Oh, is your microphone working?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
There's a lot more information needed,
yes, for sure.
guidance from them.
But they're already doing it.
Yes,
I
They
don't
should-
know.
Yeah, they should.
How, so you know that for a fact? that
yes, because
MNR
Red Rock
is-
Indian Band was over there fishing as a community group the other day.
Okay,
It's in the stock list, like I have.
Oh, it's on the
you guys
stocking
may-
Oh, it's been on the stocking list for decades.
okay,
Nobody's, it's back on the stock list. It was
Yeah.
paused and now it's back on.
Yeah.
So they, like, right, stocked it this period this year
okay,
with 4,000 slates.
Springtime.
Yeah.
okay. So we're just gonna plug ahead. Well,
Sure.
is it Talon? How
Yeah.
say her name? Talon? So Talon is from the area and she lives in the States now?
She's from, her family is the Loftus family.
Okay,
That's where the lake got its name. And she is the owner of that. She's in Tennessee. Yes, that's why she's unable to attend.
okay, but she owns
Yeah.
property?
She,
on-
well,
she's a
her family owns the
owner?
property. It's transitioning into her name. Her grandparents are,
Oh, okay,
so it may still be on Nivika's record as Whitfield, but
Okay.
it's transferred to Taylor, as far as I know.
okay,
And her family donated the public beach area access to us.
Yeah, I think it'll be in that letter whenever,
Yeah.
whenever we get that.
Okay.
So there, yeah, that's
And,
correct.
and this is dangerous to the wildlife population.
Yeah, there's, yeah, if you want to give it back, you want to read it first, you want to do the,
well, I don't think we need to read it. It is posted online in the package and the council members have read it as well.
okay.
As part of the package, so,
Yeah, you want to answer it all?
yeah, so does anyone have any, so, Nathan is here as a resident of Loftus Lake.
Well, and
and
basically on
also-
behalf of Taylor. and
Okay.
Basically for this situation, if there was a problem, she wasn't able to answer questions.
Okay.
It was her that sent this letter, not myself.
Yes, okay, but
I have them,
you agree
yeah.
with
Yeah,
with her
yeah,
opinion,
yeah.
and you have met with the MNR?
Yeah, in 2018, and myself and the other people on the lake and 100 signatures on a petition were responsible for having a pause in the stocking. Because at that time, the MNR was they were unaware that there were walleye in the lake. When I was at the meeting at the biologist, they stated that they didn't know they were there.
Right.
Since then, the biologist has found netting documentation from 1966 where there was a netting that confirmed there were walleye there. They re-netted in 24. They've confirmed the walleye are there again, and yet they're continuing to stock on top of it. This is not a common practice within the province or within the country or within our neighboring US states. I've reached out to several biologists, and now they all say they can't speak for here, but they all say, I asked them over in their province if they would stock slate on top of an actually reproducing walleye population. They said no. I also have all this stuff is available online, but it is the guidelines for the stocking of fish in Ontario, the MNR's current document. In it, it details that these fish will not be stocked on top of a healthy, naturally sustaining population. That being said, I also have pictures are worth 1,000 words. I think I'll just let you guys look through these pictures. The lake already supports a perfectly healthy. There's a pile if you just look through them and pass them around.
Yeah.
It's lake are stocked to provide a fishing opportunity. Our lake, meaning the townships and all the stakeholders, already offers a great fishing opportunity. So when you bring in another fish, there is always the threat of bringing disease in. You also bring in competition as those fish compete for food with the native fish. Those fish also come in at a year old. When a walleye is born, it's this big.
Yeah.
So those fish will eat those fish. So this is, again, these stocking of slate is generally to put into a lake with no fishing opportunity. And we have that in many lakes around here. So our advice is just to leave it be and protect those beautiful fish, how they are, going forward. And that's all we're kind of just here. I think Caitlin's letter was to kind of more of an, like, not even education, but to explain what's going on here. I've also reached out to some elders in our area, and they also support the decision to leave it be, let it.
How long were they stocking before they quit in 2018, you said, eh? Or paused it?
Yeah, they paused in 2018.
Were they
They've
doing
been
it
stocking since 1950.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the current argument is from the MNR, and this is not like I went out with them, is that through those years of stocking, basically without knowing that there were walleye there, they proved that it can support.
They didn't think walleye was there, right?
No, and
So they netted later or whatever you said, or?
yeah.
Okay.
So, and if you ask any of these files that spoke with, they've all said, if they net that lake today for the first time, that's what lakes are we going to stock? We net it and found walleye, it would be like an old. There's very few in the province. I can't, one that they provided me was the lake in Sudbury. I forget the name of it. It's a Ramsey Lake that's in the city. Yeah, that lake is basically, I don't know its ecology, but it's inside of the city. And it's probably been an experiment for many, many years. And I'm guessing they put every kind of fish in there, the walleye included. So this is a little bit of a different scenario. We have something beautiful in our municipality. Did everyone get a chance to go through those pictures?
Yeah.
Like we're talking walleye that big, we're talking to the biggest walleye ever caught, I think it's already, like our slogan says, significant, natural edge, like we already have that. So let's maybe stock another lake nearby that has nothing.
And have you talked to them, MNR, like lately?
Yeah, when
Or
they
seen
started
them?
restocking, it was just proof onto that. That's why I requested a meeting and I had a meeting, and this is some of the, like, what I just told you, what I got from that meeting.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have her up on the screen. Do you want us to let her in?
Or was she not let in?
She's here, she's in, but I can just,
Okay, yeah, you can unmute her.
So did the MNR give any reason why they went against their own stocking list? And
The main thing they're saying is that they've had outreach, and I was assuming from the township of Nipigon, which I don't believe is the case, but from many residents. So I don't know the truth of that, but that's what they told me. It's basically, they've had lots of people asking for stocking it.
Because they don't reproduce on their own slate, right?
No,
So like
They're putting
It's a
tape,
put and take.
they're putting road tape.
The community aspect of it is one of the only accessible lakes that you can take school groups, kids, families to,
And don't need a skidoo.
and don't need all the
Schools.
equipment to go with. That's what the community, some of the people have come forward with.
But like you said, you got, like I worked for MR for 20 years and flew up north and took get stock from lakes to put in, like Polly Lake, for instance, so they could fish. But when you get spray and they come in at 5, 6 inches and the fingerlings are born to the pickerel, that's their food, right? So I don't know if you're getting any support and outcry from citizens around here, because the lake is on township property too, it's part of it. So I'm not sure why we know about that.
Well, it's actually your lot that's providing it too. The township's lot is the one that provides the access for the MNR. Now, they can come in with a helicopter and stock it just as easy,
Yeah.
but that's one of the, probably the prime reasons is that the fact that the township allows that area for recreation is one of the reasons it gets stocked. It's easy to get. Like Deer Lake is the next lake up the road. It's stocked as well. There's nothing else in it. They stock with brook trout. It's a 5-minute walk from the plowed road, so it offers a very easy fishing opportunity as well. So I mean,
But Deer Lake doesn't have any pickerel in it.
no, Deer Lake is what quote unquote a dead lake. Without a fish being introduced, it wouldn't have a fishing opportunity.
Why don't they put this lake
When I
there?
was with MNR, we would,
Kind of what I'm thinking.
they would never do that to an existing lake with fish of another species in it. Because number one, you can bring disease in, right? And clean up both species of fish, and then you have nothing in the lake. Now you have another dead lake.
And that's exactly, when I did speak with them, they did say that their biosecurity is extremely tight. But when I asked that, can you rule that out? They said, no, they can't be ruled out. There still is always that minute chance. And they could, by bringing those fish in, kill the lake. Now, this is a very odd request from me or any other citizen, because this request is not necessarily you guys, it's more for support, but to the MNR. And normally when I go somewhere, I like to go in with not only what I want, but how can we achieve this? This time was the easiest I've ever had, and yet I'm getting the most pushback, is this will cost absolutely no money, no effort. All they have to do is not stock it anymore, and you could help protect those walleye forever.
Or stock it with walleye. We've done that, like walleye on top of walleye, but you don't take a spray and put them in there to eat all the minnows.
So that's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Taylin, thank you for tuning in. Sorry about that. So I guess what we normally do with folks that want to come in and listen on the meetings is we had some unfortunate incidents where people popping into our meetings and doing unruly things. So from that point on, we've asked people to request a link to the meeting. We don't post it anymore. So
Okay.
In the future, just so everyone knows that if you want to attend online, then you have to email our CAO or I guess our Simran info@nipigon.net for a link.
Okay, that's good to know. I just want to thank you guys so much for even inviting me to come speak. Nathan's a hard act to follow, and I don't want to repeat myself. I know I missed about 20 minutes of it, and he's a wealth of knowledge. He's the one who kind of put me onto the subject. But Lofquist Lake is a huge part of my family history. My Moritz Lofquist is my great-great-grandfather, and he got the property and the land around it in 1909. So I've been going back there since I was a kid. My mom's gone back there since she was a kid, and so on and so forth. And one of the main reasons we go back is for walleye. It's the only time I can have it, especially now being down in Nashville. So when this was brought up to me, I was really passionate about it, and I wrote into the MNR, and I've gone back and forth with them. And I know they've talked about decreasing it, but I just don't understand the need to do it at all, as it poses a risk, as it's been said here, from their predatory fish to the walleye. And if we don't have Lofquist Lake, which is, I understand it's an accessible lake, and I would love for the town and the youth to be able to experience it. But you'd have to drive over an hour to be able to have walleye if you didn't have Lofquist. And that's a unique, special place. And I think that's worth protecting if we can. And so again, I could go into some of the facts that we went into, but I think Nathan has touched on it all. I just wanted to come and show my support and have my voice heard, and my grandfather's voice and my mother's voice. I'm kind of coming on respects of all of them. And living in Nashville, I live in an overdeveloped area, and I see firsthand how people, humans and conservationists, they'll come and they'll try to help, and a lot of times it hurts, and it's a lot harder to go backwards than it is to let it be. And again, I would love, and our family would love for always, and that's why my great grandfather donated that public land access to the township to enjoy Lofquist Lake. But I want to keep it as special as it is.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I think we've had a good discussion here. What I would suggest though is, again, I hear what you guys are saying and it makes sense to me, but I think, to be fair, we need to talk to the MNR and find out what, you've told us what their purpose is and everything, but I think that's something that would be worthwhile. Our staff investigating, or maybe one or two of us to go and meet with them and see what they're doing and why. And I think maybe it might be worth a discussion or a suggestion to them. I think what I might suggest to them is to have maybe an information session or something like that, to have people come out. Lofquist is, thank you to your, I think, great grandfather or grandfather who donated the public land. I know I brought my kids up on Lofquist, and it's a wonderful place to be. And it's a magical place, actually. So I think that a lot of people are very passionate about it. And I think if there was some kind of an information session with the MNR present, with anyone who's in the landowners present, township, community members who utilize it, I think that might be helpful for them to hear comments from both sides. And maybe the folks that are interested in having it stocked might not understand the other side of it so much. So, and as we talked about before the meeting, I wasn't aware that it was being stocked. It's not really a public, something that maybe it has been posted on a website or something, but it's not super common knowledge. So, yeah, so if that's okay with council, and we can get some more information about that, and then look at, when do they do the stocking? Did they do it in the spring? The spring?
Yeah,
You know?
spring.
Okay, so maybe we can get on that sooner rather than later. Do you have another question, Anne-Marie?
Do you have a copy of the petition that you went round in 2018?
I don't have it anymore. The MNR does have it though, and I don't know how long they keep them for. And I wish I would have kept that now if they don't have it.
What is
I
this
can revisit
document
that.
that you have there, that you were showing
That's
us?
online.
I can, get this, I can print out a copy. This is the guideline for stocking fish in the inland waters of Ontario. This was provided to me by the biologist, the head biologist from Whole Club.
Okay.
Yeah, that's online.
This one, it's actually hard to find online. You can find excerpts from it, but if you guys request it, I can actually get it printed off. And
Okay.
there's there's not, you don't have to go far into it to see, I've highlighted all the contraindications to stocking, which most of these, are contraindications.
Maybe
Even there's one indication that there's lake whitefish healthy in that lake, in this lake section. It says not to stock the lake if there's a healthy population of lake whitefish, which already exists. And other species of fish that exist in the lake.
Right.
So everyone else knows there's a healthy population of sucker, of lake whitefish, of walleye, and these are all reproducing and of lake. Those fish exist there already.
So it's a matter of educating the people who are asking for this lake, why it's not a good idea.
I think that's probably, it's not that it's not a good idea, but we already have a fishery. The idea of the quid pro take is to provide a fishing opportunity. We already have one there, and a very good one, as you can see from those pictures. Like, those are world-class walleye.
And if people are actually requesting it, we don't know that. With talking to the MNR as to why that's happening.
Yeah, educate maybe people, that's good for people to know those fish are there as a fishing opportunity. That might be more of a tourism sell those fish than, a splay, seeing fish like that, like more.
Yes, I know a lot of curious there for walleye fishing.
Yeah.
Okay, Thank you both. So I think what we'll do is we'll go to the MNR for more information,
Yeah.
maybe see if they're interested in doing some sort of a session to get public feedback about that stalking before it happens in the spring.
Great,
They can explain themselves.
great. Thank
That would be so
Well,
beneficial because they stopped communication. They kind of stopped answering my questions and said they'll let me know if they decide they're going to continue stalking. So when I went in, I asked as many questions as I could. They cut communication. They were very polite, but they cut communication and said, why don't we just keep you updated on when and how we will decide to stalk the lake? And so that's why we wanted to turn to the township to see if we could have support there.
And the goal is like, the end goal would be to get removed completely from the stalking list, and they did state to me at the time that, you know, they're deciding that currently, but they were going to visit with the stakeholders, meaning the community members, tourism,
The band.
the bands. They weren't saying that they were ruling, you know, you were just always gonna stalk it. They didn't say that, but this information session you're talking about might be a great outlet for that.
And we can look at inviting the band out for that too, and even like the surrounding communities or something, yeah. Okay, thank you, Nathan, and
Yes.
thank you, Talon. Very much appreciated for bringing that to our attention. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Thanks for doing this. Didn't have no idea.
Okay. We will move on. You don't have to stay, Nathan, if you do not. If you have other
Obviously,
things
I've
to
never been
do.
to one this time.
Never been to one.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have correspondence in regards to the Nuclear Waste Management Organization. And this is a letter from Diane Swiatolowski from, she's a member of, We the Nuclear Free North. So this is a letter from her in regards to the transportation, their opposition of transporting nuclear waste through our area, obviously, and the impact assessment, which was, the comment deadline was February 4th. Again, this is something that we actually passed a resolution to oppose the transportation through. Now, I think this was actually before they made the decision to put the storage facility in Ignace, so it was prior to that.
Yeah, Ignace had even approved.
Yeah, hadn't been approved yet.
Yeah.
So this is something, again, it's helpful to have more information. There's two sides to every story. I did educate myself at several conferences over the last couple of years about this whole situation, and always interested in learning more on both sides. So does anyone have any comments about this? We're past the deadline for the comments. I did read in the paper today that comments will continue to be received. I believe they would have received our resolution, the folks that asked for us to complete it, which is this organization, and it would have been sent out to obviously the what is the acronym? Nuclear Waste, WMO, right? Okay, I have trouble saying that.
Last year at Roma, they had a big booth there where they were.
Yeah, they always have
Yeah.
information booths and everything there, so. Lots of opportunity for answering questions, and anyone who's going to the NOMA conference again in Thunder Bay in April will probably have an opportunity to ask the questions as well. Okay, anybody have any questions about that? This is for information. So we will continue to gather information on that. And okay, next we're going to move on to sundries. Nipigon Public Library Board minutes from December 9th, 2025. This is for information. We have no resolution here. Does anyone have any questions or comments about those? Library's humming along as usual. Great job. Next, 6B, we have the January 28th, 2026 Quad Council OPP Detachment Board meeting minutes. This is for information still. And Councillor Cartwright is our representative on there. If anyone has any questions for her about
I was actually in Toronto.
oh, sorry, you weren't there. So you know as much as we do. Brianna
Brianna was there.
was there. Brianna was doing So if anyone has any questions for Brianna, looks like it's pretty straightforward. Nothing too controversial. Our new staff sergeant, Jason Golds, was there, and I had a chance to sit down and chat with him at Christmas time and meet him. So seems like a good fella and ready to roar. So that's good. Okay, for information, again, we have NOMA Board of Directors meeting minutes. So this is the Northern Ontario Municipal Association meeting minutes. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, comments about that? District of Thunder Bay Social Services Administration Board meeting minutes. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about those? For information only again. Okay. And then we have our Lake Superior National Marine Conservation Area Interim Liaison Committee meeting. We have the minutes from that. Again, it's updates about the activities of the LS and MCA staff throughout the year, or throughout the, I guess it happens bi-yearly, so the 6 months. Any questions about that? Any comments or anything? Thunder Bay District Municipal League meeting minutes. We have 2 sets, one from September 20th and one from November 19th. So just in regards to that, I just want to remind everybody that the Thunder Bay District Municipal League Conference, Nipigon is hosting it for the 2nd time in the last 30 years. It will be in the region. We'll be hosting it, which is exciting. And Brianna's been working with their executive director to host a great conference, and that's going to be March 5th to 6th. And if you have not already, can you please let Simran, who's attending? Gail?
I am.
You're gonna attend?
I can.
You can't, and Marie, you're attending, and you guys have told, everyone has told
Yeah, I
Simran?
emailed Simran.
Yeah? Okay,
How many people are coming besides, us? Like,
All of them.
yeah.
The expected total number
Yes.
of people, I believe between 75 and 100 is
Yeah.
what she said, but it's.
We're gonna have dinner at Ducky's and 75 people
it's outside of the conference.
outside,
Yeah,
okay?
it's been arranged by the executive director outside of the conference. It has nothing, it's
Nothing to do
well,
with us.
it's because one of the reasons is that we have, liquor is required after a hard day
Yeah.
at a conference. And also there's, everyone wants to go to the same thing, to have the same place to have fun. But we do have a caterer that's doing the lunches and the breakfasts at the,
Okay.
so yeah, you'll have to let Simran know
I did.
for numbers for that dinner, but also to let her know about the, who is going to be attending as well.
I was just concerned that there would be so many that couldn't do it.
Well, there's gonna be a limit, I guess.
Yeah,
And then people show up that say they're gonna go, because you don't prepay or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just going out for dinner, so you have to pay for yourself.
I don't wanna sit on the patio.
We'll get you inside, Gail, don't worry.
I'll
Okay,
sit on the patio.
and is there any other questions about those minutes there? Nope. Okay, we have Public Works Superintendent Taylor to give her report, and we have a resolution for that as well. I think that's up next, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Taylor.
Okay, I just have one item today, so I'll go through it and then I'll provide my recommendation. So this is about the drinking water quality management system, the operational plan revision 13. So council is advised that revision 13 of the township's drinking water quality management system operational plan has been completed in accordance with the requirements of the Safe Drinking Water Act drinking water quality management standard. This revision incorporates updates to reflect current operational practices, organizational roles and responsibilities, and continuous improvement measures identified through internal and external reviews and audits, as well as the Ministry of Environment, Conservation, and Parks inspection. No changes have been made that would negatively impact the safety or regulatory compliance of the municipal drinking water system. As required under the DWQMS, the owner and operating authorities' commitment and endorsement are required for each revision of the operational plan. The re-endorsement of revision 13 confirms its ongoing commitment to providing safe, reliable drinking water and to maintaining an effective quality management system that meets all applicable legislative and regulatory requirements. So my recommendation that council receive the Public Works Superintendent Report 2601-2702 for information, and that council receive, acknowledge, and re-endorse the Drinking Water Quality Management System Operational Plan Revision 13.
Okay, before we go to questions, it's highlighted here as having a resolution, but I don't have a
Oh,
resolution.
it's not in there?
I just looked to see if it was anywhere else, but you can handwrite one if you want. That's what we've done in the past when something's been missing, just handwrite it out. So while the CAO is doing that, does anyone have any questions for Taylor on the operational plan revision? Nope. Once again, great work, Taylor. I know it's a complex part of your job with the steep learning curve, and you've done an amazing job with it. So great.
You weren't alone either. When we were in Thunder Bay, we went down 3 streets that were digging up frozen lines.
Yeah.
I'm seeing them nonstop. They're kind of haunting me now.
You're seeing exploding water in your dreams.
Yeah.
All right. We'll just wait for Tim's just going to write up a quick resolution there for us. Student counselors, do you have any questions for Taylor on her drinking water? You're too far away. I always forget to include you.
We couldn't see the other one. Where do you have to go up there?
They have to have video. She did not video. She was on fire.
Oh, she's just on.
Yeah.
You can choose. When I do these things, I don't turn my camera. Just who wants to look at this? Usually I'm muted too, but who wants to listen?
I know I'm close enough.
Thanks.
Where are we at?
We are at 7A. Oh, you mean the number? 20. Yeah, can you see the previous one was? Oh, it's on. That one's a 2-pager. Okay. 2021. So we'd be at 2022.
Okay, just 21.1 then. just-
Oh, okay, so then we don't have to change these ones. Okay.
At least I can just.
Thank you so much.
Delivering you.
Oh, God. Okay.
Look at that chicken.
Who would like to move the resolution to acknowledge and endorse this drinking water quality management? Councillor Westhaver, and who would like to second? Councillor Cartwright. Okay, resolution 2026-015 moved by Councillor Westhaver, seconded by Councillor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council receives the Public Works Superintendent Report 2601-2702 for information, and that council receives, acknowledges, and re-endorses the Drinking Water Quality Management System Operational Plan Revision 13. Not bad. Very good. All in favor? Opposed? And carried.
Sorry, Taylor.
Way better than mine.
That's okay. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our list is 8A, Fire Department, January 21st, 2026, meeting minutes. Again, this is just for information. Does anyone have any questions about that?
I have one now.
Yeah, Councillor Harper, go ahead.
They were talking at the fire department about some possibly training on May 29th to the 31st or June 5th to the 7th. Is that the one you were talking about earlier?
No, That's news to me.
Okay, because I was at, all the deputy chief got a text from the fire chief that he was working on setting it up, and I thought maybe that's what you were talking about earlier.
Different training?
Maybe different training, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, it was the same thing for those,
Okay,
number 1 and number 2 or whatever it was.
Okay.
So anyways, there might be, just to bring it to your
Yeah.
attention.
I can meet with them, both of them. next
I did
week.
talk to, the deputy chief, Alex Pleasant this afternoon, and he said he had no more information on it.
Okay,
But, fire hall meeting is tomorrow night. So maybe there'll be more there, because I understand, the chief will be there tomorrow night too. So-
okay.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah,
Great.
looks like
Yeah,
the
they can
training's
confirm
coming
that.
down the line anyway.
Good,
somehow.
that's great.
Thank you, Counselor.
Okay, anything else on that? Okay, next is 9A, Economic Development Report 260123. So first, thank you, Brianna, for this report. Item number 1 on it is the Next Bridge Rendezvous Cross Country Ski Club Compensation Package Release of Remaining Funds. So as I understand it, this is the rest of the funds that came from the Next Bridge, how they sort of took over a part of the cross country ski trails there, and they had to reroute. So the Next Bridge gave some cash to the township to distribute off to the cross country ski club as needed. And so they're asking for the remainder $7,505.86. Any questions about that one? Jen? The agreement is attached to the package as well.
The agreement was originally 53, now they paid some and
Well,
that's balance.
Yeah, they've spent money on rerouting. That's what the money is for now. I believe the rest of it's for signage and mapping and things like that. For the new reroutes. Okay. Yep, so have a problem with that recommendation.
Yep.
Item number 2 is the Community Veterinary Wellness Clinic. Very exciting. So regional partnership, it looks like Scriber and Township of Red Rock are interested in partnering with us on that, which is fantastic. Everyone has read this report here. Does anyone have any questions?
I got one question.
Councilor Harper?
Will they be neutering animals there?
So for this clinic, there won't be like any spay or neutering.
Okay.
They will be able to offer an implant, which is kind of a cheaper, less invasive alternative to it.
Okay.
If this goes really well and there is enough interest, they said that they would come back for a surgical clinic in the fall. But
Yeah,
again,
like maybe once every 2 years or once a year or something.
yeah, and then
Okay.
hopefully by then maybe we can bring.
It's awesome that we're even getting anything, so that's very good. So,
I have,
Thank you.
sorry. Does anyone have any
Yeah, I
questions?
just had- So they'll provide us with a list of the fees that they'll charge for this or that.
So she's already kind of sent me a breakdown of what they would expect, and the cost per patient, from their. It's just the lump fee for the basic services they would offer, and then there's a couple additional things like, tick medication, or if the surgical implants would also be an additional cost. But, yeah, it's a flat fee, it's very reasonable, and then from there, we add our administration costs onto the other side of it to kind of offset. And, yeah, it's probably going to be looking at $90 per person for the general services, so.
So for spay neuter, that they only do that once a year?
If we choose to bring them back and they choose to come back for us, to do a surgical clinic, it can be as much as they're willing to come up, but they're quite costly. So whereas whatever we're looking at for this, we're looking at about 3 times the cost for a surgical clinic. And again, if there is enough community need, then for sure they'd be willing to come up, but at the cost of the township, we might have to consider what a surgical clinic looks like.
Councilor Curry, go ahead.
So the $90 would cover a checkup and the shots, or?
Yeah, so the $90 would cover the full physical exam and consultation with core vaccinations, rabies, DAPPL, and then the feline version of HIV, and intestinal deworming. And then there's additional like same-day blood testing for heartworm and tick-borne diseases, and then the additional add-on services, which would be the kennel cough vaccine and the Lyme vaccine.
Do you know a whole list of the additional like, would be able to put a dog under, say, and then cut its toenails or something? So, things like that. Some dogs you cannot.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
She did say that if we know that an animal is going to be problematic or have issues, that they can prescribe prescriptions ahead of time if, you know, they give us that, there's, you know, trazodone and stuff they could send to our local pharmacy. But that would be at an additional cost.
Okay,
If you
so
need to put a dog under, you need some pretty specialized stuff in that case.
I have to do that.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of complications that come with putting dogs under, their age is one big variable in that, so, yeah, I think that would have to go into like a surgical clinic, but if your dog would be okay with some kind of, you know, sedative, then I think she would be able to help with that.
They have said it, but, you know, they don't need to give it a shot. My dog's like that, and they just, you have to just give her a pill, and she's like, not on that.
So I'm assuming then that like all the services that'll be covered by that $90 fee will be clearly listed for people, so there's no surprise of, oh, I didn't know that this wasn't included or that's included or whatever, right? That's gonna be part of what's being done.
Absolutely, yeah, we just sent out the initial like expression of interest form, and then from there we'll be sending a follow-up if you guys choose to go forward, and then, we'll kind of make sure that everybody's aware of what each.
There's quite a bit of talk around Scriber Care Spay on the social media about it as well. So there is.
Yeah, and I just wanna say too, that just because it's Scriber and Township of Red Rock partnering, it doesn't mean that Dorian people can't, like Red Rock Indian bands, our residents can't. It's just, those are the three partners that are helping to bring the veterinary clinic here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so, they've kind of helped with getting this off the ground and the research, and, going forward, if their council also agrees, then there will be, a cost share, but that has to go to them still, so.
Pretty reasonable cost, because I just, anybody that has a dog now knows what it costs to get a checkup, and there's shots, and it's a lot more than $90.
if they can get a vet.
If you can get a vet.
That's the biggest problem, is a lot of new pet owners can't get vets.
Well, and the great thing about, Tammy, is that once you're in the system with, the SPCA, you have access to the televet. So, you know, anything that comes up, you have that service.
And that was discussed on social media as well, like about this particular project, about that as well. Somebody actually brought it up.
Okay, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Just bear with me, some of them are pretty quick. Sorry, guys, I gotta ask some questions here. So the airport pickup drop off, is $750. Is that like, would they be given, is that to like, for them to rent a vehicle and drive up here and be able to drive around, or are we relying on folks to, like, volunteers to go pick them up and we pay the mileage or whatever?
Looking at it, likely car rentals are going to be the cheapest option. You have volunteer, it's gonna take that volunteer away from additional tasks that you'd be kind of helping with. But yeah, that would be car rentals likely.
That's what I was thinking, because it was pretty pricey for just mileage, so I was thinking that was probably car rental, but it would be reasonable because then they need to get around while they're here. They have to go for lunch, or you don't wanna have someone like on call driving them around, because that can get expensive and difficult to set up too.
And it probably covers their time too. I mean, they're going to airport, flying here, right? And so they want to get paid for it.
The cost is actually, there's not a significant price tag on it in terms of what they're gonna make coming out of this. She runs these clinics predominantly to give, remote communities that don't have access to veterinary care the opportunity. They're definitely very busy in Hamilton and Burlington. They've got lots of animals down there, but yeah, it's more of a service that she's looking to provide.
I think that's just the transportation cost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Straight up, Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
pick up and drop off support. What building are you thinking of hosting this in? Is there a thought of that?
The community center is the one that comes to mind first, just because it's well lit, it's clean.
Where's that? Sorry,
Nipigon Community
Center.
Center,
Okay.
our community center. And then there's a separate, if you're doing it in the multipurpose room, obviously there's a separate entrance, so they don't have to go through the building, right?
Well, and we could even separate, like, close it off, so, yeah.
Two
you could have-
sections.
Yeah, any
Yeah.
kind of pet that was.
Carryable
Separate
ones,
cats and
that
dogs.
way. Isn't it?
Carryables.
I was just curious about that one. Is there gonna be a requirement for prepayment? Because okay, good.
There will be,
And
yes.
non-refundable prepayment for the $90 fee, okay?
Yes.
Because, as you know, there's cancellations and there's, yeah, I wanna do it, and then half of them
Don't show
decide
me.
not to do it. So I just wanna make sure we're not held with, us and our partners are not holding a bill for $10,000 or whatever it is, because we don't, okay, so you're on that. I thought you might be.
Absolutely.
I just
yeah.
wanted to check. When is the expected start for this? What month?
So it would be June.
Okay.
First week of June is what she was looking at.
I was gonna say that would be a good time because people are they've got their new puppies maybe in the spring and they're needing their vaccinations and it's kind of good timing. And then the tick stuff and
We tried to push it into fall,
Mhm.
just, being June is pretty busy for the
Mhm.
hotel owners and stuff. But unfortunately this year they just didn't have the capability to come.
Mhm.
She said in the future, if we did want to hold it in the fall, that we could try to make that work though as well too, so.
okay. So you're saying that the partners, the other partners, they've been helping with the coordination, they've been helping with the research and all that?
Yes,
Okay, that's good, because I was just wondering if it was you doing it all, and then then we also had to pay a third of the cost. So as long as they're contributing in kind as well, I'm okay with a three-way
Yeah,
split, as long as they're helping with the cost or the workload,
yes.
yeah. What was the other one? No, I think that's it, that's okay, Councillor Cartwright.
Is the shortfall, that's to be split between the 3 communities?
Yes.
So that's not bad.
Okay, anything else on that? There's one more recommendation or item report. Oh, the health and water safety stream funding approval. We were approved for up to $431,959.25, 73% of our wastewater project to enhance our infrastructure to hopefully help with the expansion of the hospital. So that without that project, the expansion of the hospital, the long-term care would not happen. So breathe a sigh of relief because I was not sure how that was gonna get paid for those
That's
funding.
70-some%. so
Yeah,
that's great.
73%. So thank you again, Brianna did that application and thank you very much because that was a complex
Yeah.
one. The other
Yeah.
one, not so much, but this one was, and thank you very much for
Great work.
great work on that one.
I have a question on that.
Yeah.
With the funding here, 73% from the province, 27 from Nipigon. It's an area hospital. Why is Nipigon paying 159? Shouldn't that be spread among our other communities? Red Rock contribution, the Res, Dorian.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a conversation for way before my time
Mhm.
about that kind of thing. The thing about this is that it's infrastructure for the township of Nipigon. So it's
Yeah, but
piping that's going in the ground yeah, I see what you're saying
Yeah.
though. I
But the
do,
whole expansion is
Yeah.
because of this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, Nipigon's paying us the
I know.
lion's share again. We're crying out for partners. Nobody wants to be a partner with us. It's a little tough and I think this is unfair. There's a lot of things in Nipigon that we deal with for areas, graveyards. Can't think of anything else right now, but that needs to be shared in the area. Nipigon cannot afford that anymore. Probably never could, but we need to change that funding model anyways, so.
well, with that being said, I think it's time for a quad council meeting to
Mhm.
talk about that, because I think that's something that should be talked about at our quad council
Yeah.
meeting, which was due back in October.
And once again, it's just a fairness issue.
Yeah.
We're not trying to gouge anybody or anything. It's strictly a fairness issue, which needs to be emphasized. Thank you.
Maybe we can mark that down as reaching out to a quad council. I'll chat with you about that after. because that was before your time when we were doing quad council meetings, so there's a terms of reference and everything and all that, so we can go for that aside. Okay, so this is great news, and that's another recommendation to accept that as well. So does anyone have any questions for Brianna on that besides Councillor Harper made a good point there? Okay. Thank you. So we have a couple of resolutions. The first one is for the cross-country ski. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay, the fourth report item number, sorry.
Oh, gosh. Oh, the museum committee, okay.
There's more.
I was thinking that we were gonna, yeah, the museum committee,
That's me.
for the minutes or whatever.
Oh, no,
Okay,
there's two more, sorry.
Yep,
okay, installation of an, okay,
there's 4 and 14.
Yeah.
now,
To be confusing.
Every year come in.
the recommendation number one, I believe we actually did talk about that at one of our council meetings. I would not recommend doing that. The installation of an angling legacy information at the lookout. The lookout is flush with panels right now, and we haven't even put up the kiosk yet. I just don't think there's room for it, first of all. Second of all, we have a really nice panel up there, was installed about 7 years ago or so, that has the museum on there as a location with a map and everything. And there's a QR code on there now. I believe Simran put that up short time ago, that goes right to, which will go to our new visitor website, which has stuff on the museum. Also, there is an angling interpretive panel that was done for the bridge. There's about 5 panels on the bridge. If anyone's ever gone down the pedestrian walkway, 2 of them were taken away because they got crashed into by the guy who plows the walkway. And they're gone, but they're somewhere. And I think it was with MTO. So they're hopefully will be reinstalled somewhere. Maybe get in touch with the MTO. Good luck with whoever is in charge of that piece. You can start with our community person that we have. I think we have a community communications person that we deal with MTO and find out where those are and if they can be reinstalled. And maybe we could even ask if we can put a QR code for the museum on the angling one, but there is an angling one actually. So I think, I just think it would be, does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Design pollution? It's a lot. It's a lot.
That's what it's trying.
And I know what they're saying, and I, it would be nice, but there's already one that's sort of floating around already, and I think we're flush up there. The strategic plan.
That was a long meeting we had, 2.5 hours. Remember that one?
The strategic plan, I like the increased social media presence. I think that was page 32 that was on there. I have some ideas about that. I won't go into them right now. About social media. It has to do with the conference that I went to. There's talking about like humor and sort of trying to get through all the noise of social media posts with some humor and different ways of doing things. So I think that would be nice. But it's good to see. I'd like to see a code of conduct attached in there for the maybe for the committee members. I think that would be good to sort of have that in maybe in the terms of reference, actually, maybe not in the strategic plan. Yeah. The brook trout aquarium, I think that it's a cool idea. I love the idea. I don't know how realistic it is though. Sustainability wise, expense wise, we have 2 staff in there now, but things change, right? The space for it and everything, but I think I like the idea of it. I just think there needs to be lots of research put into like how they would do in that environment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
They need a big tank and chillers.
Yeah.
Is what it is. So if your water heats up too much, your brook's gonna die.
Yeah, there's just a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that would go into it, a lot of research and everything.
I think they used to
The
have
cleaning
one
of
up
the
at the Tourist
tank.
Information Center.
Mhm.
But they don't
That
have tank.
was, yeah, at one point or another.
Didn't they have one at the MNR too?
That was the one that was up at the Tourist
I
Information
think Chris, Shannon and I were at the meeting, wasn't Chris and Rob gonna take care of that thing, the cleaning and the maintenance of that? Or was it?
And I don't, as much as all of our volunteers, we're so grateful for them, going forward, when we're thinking of putting installations in, we have to make sure that we're not relying on volunteers because they're, you know, unfortunately, once we have that turnover, it's really, really difficult to fill those positions, so.
We might have someone doing it for 1 or 2 years and then beyond that, it's,
That's
so,
right.
so the investment and then the maintenance, and then there's gotta be a plan for all of that.
Progressing in sustainability too.
That being said, the strategic plan is awesome that we have a strategic plan going, the museum terms of reference. Awesome, I don't have any issues
Okay.
with any of that, does anyone have any questions about those? About 4 or 5 years ago, it was possible that the library was gonna get maybe moved in the museum and everything was kind of, you know, so this is just an example of how, support of a great asset like the museum, will help it, you sort of nurture it. It's really taken off. We have a couple of staff there now. We have things moving and shaking, the strategic plan in terms of reference, and it's for the committee. And I think it's going really, really well. And it's something to be proud of. I mean, our museum is really cool. Oh, that reminds me, one thing I think I would like to see in the strategic plan is to perhaps have a spot on, or the terms of reference, to have a spot on the committee for a Red Rock Indian band member. Whether it gets filled or not, I think it should potentially be part of the terms of reference. Again, this goes back to actual learning that I've had with conferences and things like that, and talking about and thinking about, and we have had, I think, the chief went through there looking around in the museum just to see what's there and if it's properly being interpreted properly and everything, because, you know, there's stories to tell there that aren't always our stories to tell. And I think it's really important that we have that perspective on that
Should be a
part of the
few
terms of
hours.
reference. Yeah, I mean, you put the invitation out there and
I
see
can get
who
Margaret,
comes up, but
Marilyn to come for sure.
But- yeah, but I think it should be on
Yeah.
the terms of reference if possible, to
But
have
They
have
were,
a place there for
they
a band
were,
member.
during our meeting, kind of talked about that. They were concerned about even the pictographs, like,
Mhm.
that's their heritage.
Yep.
Some of it's very sacred.
And I think it's worth it to have someone there talking about that
Yeah.
stuff as you're talking about plans for things.
Well, that's what we
have
collected,
that
some of that
knowledge.
artifacts, the
Mhm.
artifacts that are in there. So far, they haven't made any request to take them over because they have no museum, but
Yeah.
they just make sure that there's nothing of sacred value
Mhm.
that's in the museum that we don't have, we shouldn't have access to. You know?
Yep.
And everything went fine, so that's great.
But yeah, congratulations to the museum, to yourself and the curator and the intern and the committee, and everything's going really, really well with that, so it's good to see. Okay, item number 4, OPG grant approval. Does anyone have any issues with this item? The Blueberry Blast, $3,000, 5K 3,000, Winter Carnival Family Day 1,000.
I believe, sorry,
To accept the OPG
it was
funding.
supposed to be switched.
Oh.
Winter Carnival was supposed to be 3K.
Okay,
But yeah, sorry.
that's okay. We'll just make sure that it's accurate in the resolution here. Does anyone have any questions about that? Okay, I think that's it. Now, we can go into the resolutions. Okay, this one is for the ski club. So who'd like to move this one? Councillor Westhaver, seconded by Councillor Harper. Resolution to 2026-022, moved by Councillor Westhaver, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that this council receives the Economic Development Report 260103 for information that this council authorizes staff to release the remaining portion of the Next Bridge Rendezvous Ski Cross-Country Ski Club compensation package in the amount of $7,505.86 to the Rendezvous Ski Cross-Country Ski Club to complete the final phase of the ski trail relocation project, including trail signage and updated mapping. All in favor? Opposed and carried. Okay, this is the veterinary clinic. Who would like to move this one? Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Hurt. Resolution 2026-023, moved by Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Hart. Be it resolved that this council supports the proposed community veterinary wellness clinic initiative and authorizes staff to proceed with the required planning in collaboration with the town of Scriber and the township of Red Rock including issuing a formal invitation to the selected veterinary provider to deliver services within the region, and that this council authorizes staff to finalize and execute a memorandum of understanding MOU required to secure flights, volunteers, and clinic logistics, including the proposed fee structure of $90 per pet, and that this council directs staff to formally approach the town of Schreiber and the township of Red Rock for council consideration and approval of participation and any required cost sharing arrangements to address potential clinic operating shortfalls. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, this one is for the wastewater infrastructure.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
This is, who would like to move this one? This is to accept the, okay, the funding. Counselor Westhaver, seconded by Counselor Harper. Resolution 2026-024, moved by Counselor Westhaver, seconded by Counselor Harper. Be it resolved that this council authorizes staff to enter into the required funding agreement and contract with the Ontario Ministry of Infrastructure for the reconstruction of wastewater infrastructure, Nipigon Hospital gravity system via Hogan Road. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. And this one is for the museum. Oh, okay. So there's some things that we didn't read. We don't approve the addition of a, wait,
Yeah.
we do approve the addition to the QR code to the lookout. There's already a QR code on the lookout panel.
I think they meant like additional,
A different one?
yeah, like to support the, like to take them to potentially the YouTube video or.
Okay. The other thing is the kiosk is going up there too. That's supposed to have
There's a
all
lot
these
of things can go in
things
there.
going up, right?
Mhm.
So. I mean, a QR code is fine, but
You can always wait
Wait,
until the
yeah.
additional
See what
stuff
they-
gets up there.
yeah.
And then we can
Yeah.
assess.
you can do
from
pretty
there.
cool stuff, I think, with that kiosk, like have like video of like brook trout swimming around and all
I know,
but we'll see. Does not improve the installation, angling, like,
You can
okay,
just strike
that's
the,
good.
you can strike the final third if you want of that.
We do not approve the installation, okay, okay, yeah, this one is fine. Okay, so this is resolution 2026-025, so if we can add in the terms of reference, a spot for, I'll put this in the resolution though, a spot for, a seat for a Red Rock Indian band member.
Yeah.
If everyone's okay with that. And a code of conduct. Very simple, just, I mean, you could even probably copy and paste at, changing a few words.
Does it have
from
to
our-
be, does it have to be Red Rock Band? Because there's other First Nations here, like posted. Like, for First Nation,
Well, I mean, I think that the closest Red Rock, or the closest band would be the ones that would be more involved with anything that's been found here in the area, right? My understanding.
and then all the. So what's the group over there?
Well, the flying post person.
Yeah, no, the flying post, but that's all.
But I think their land was actually away
It's
from here.
far away.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't think we need to complicate it too
But
much.
if no one from Red Rock Band, if we worded it that way, no one comes from Red Rock Band, someone comes from Flying Post, you still have a rep, right? And some of them are very good.
How about a First Nation? Local First
Maybe the
Nation?
different bands can put up forward their rep.
Yeah,
And yeah, they
I
don't,
would offer it to
they
each,
could
not just
actually
one.
live in Nipigon, right? There's many, Red Rock Indian Band members that live right in town.
okay, so how about at least one seat for a local First Nation member?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I think we got, I hope you can understand my writing here, but be it resolved that this, okay, so let's, I'll read it first. Be it resolved that this council approves the Nipigon Historical Museum Strategic Plan as presented, and that this council approves the Nipigon Historical Museum Committee terms of reference with additions. At least one seat set aside for a local First Nation member and addition of a code of conduct. I was gonna say code of conflict, but we don't want that. And that this council approves the addition of a museum QR code to the Lookout Place play card and 2 existing historical play cards, but does not approve the installation of an angling legacy information play card. Okay, who would like to move this one? Councillor Westhaver, who would like to second? Councillor Cartwright. All right, so I already read it. All in favor? Opposed and carried. Okay, and this is for the OPG funding, $7,000. It doesn't say the split, so that's okay, right? Yeah. Okay, who would like to move to accept the OPG funding for the different initiatives? Councillor Harper to move, Councillor Cartwright to second. Resolution 2026-026, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council authorizes staff to accept the OPG funding in the amount of $7,000 for the approved 2026 events and direct staff to complete all the associated reporting requirements. All in favor? Opposed and carried. All right, guys, it's quite a long meeting today because we have 2 meetings worth of stuff to do. All right, so we are done. So do we have any closed session today?
No.
No? Okay, wow.
Who's this other tendency?
All right, so next we have our resolution to give 3 readings and approve the bylaw to confirm the actions of the meeting, this meeting held on February 10th. Who would like to?
Well, I got one on any other business.
Oh, how about we do, oh yeah, I guess we could do that first, eh?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. Any other
Just-
business? Thank you for reminding me. Go ahead.
Just one thing, I see Love Coffee is out of business now.
Oh.
Can we get our picture back? Is it?
Is that it there?
I don't
Yes,
know.
I think it came home. I think that is it.
Oh,
Okay.
we lend them a picture?
We lent them that picture.
Okay. Okay,
I think that's it.
That's it, okay, perfect.
It came home.
Yeah, right on.
that's it for you?
Yeah,
Any other
that's it for me,
business?
yeah.
Councillor Cartwright?
No,
No. Councillor Westhaver? Any other business?
Yeah, I thought we have our king,
we're waiting for a frame. They
Okay.
just came in today.
you ordered one? Yeah. Good show.
Okay, Councillor Hart? Student councillors? No, staff members? The markets, great job to Brianna. Their market was in the first, was it January 23rd that it happened? So I attended there. You know, it's gonna take some time to, I think, gather steam, but I think it went pretty well for the first one. I did have an idea to have a township booth there. Again, thinking about different ways to communicate with our community members. 1 month it could be a couple of council members sitting there. 1 month it could be some staff members, maybe trying to get people signed up for the alert program. I know that our billing is going to be changing and there may be many questions come March, when people get their water bills. They're gonna be happy with their tax bills, but forget that sanitation is gonna be added on to their, or sewage is gonna be added on to their water bills. Things like that, or answering any questions, surveys, whatever. So I don't know if, I know I won't be here for the next one. I won't be in town. So, if that's something that we wanna,
Good information about the vet clinic
Mhm.
at that.
Yep.
At a booth too.
anything, if there's anyone that wants to, hang out at the booth and give out information, answer questions, whatever, however Brianna wants to set that up, if that's okay. And then just again, the reminder about the tax bills, I don't know if they've gone out already. I pay mine through my mortgage, so I don't know. Okay, so people are gonna see a different tax, and is there a notice going out there as well with the tax bills that their sewage is going to be moved onto their water bill, just a reminder? Yeah, okay.
Did we manage to send are we sending cards for the dump with the tax bills?
I think those are still to be picked up.
Yeah, still to be.
Yeah, because.
Yeah,
don't
we-
know. Yeah. Oh, hi,
People,
Taylor.
sorry. People can, most people have picked them up, but if people do want them mailed out, it was on the landfill schedule on the back. You can always email Simran at info@nipigon.net, and we can definitely mail out a copy of people's landfill cards if they
On
need.
request. On
Yep.
request. Okay. And then, of course, we have a Family Day event happening on Monday. Everyone's welcome, free of charge. The breakfast is not free of charge. Andy is open as usual, and we'll be having a breakfast. But there's many events, and our community, our recreation manager and our committees worked hard to, put that together instead of our winter carnival, instead of the week-long thing where we're having issues getting volunteers and people coming out. We're gonna do a big splashy spectacular on Monday. So that should be exciting. And just wanted to give that a shout out. And I think that's it. Oh, now I have to close the meeting. We could just stay here all night.
Can I just make one comment?
Yes, please.
In regards to the switch over from the sewer to separately.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say that our taxes are looking pretty good.
Mhm.
Because people are always complaining, oh, your taxes are high for what you get, blah, blah, blah. But when you're comparing apples to apples, and the way most communities do that now, water and sewer is separated, our taxes are looking very, very good.
Mhm.
Just a comment.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And in regards to that too, people also forget, they always think about water and sewer. If someone's living out in the country, what do we get if we don't get one? Well, policing is about $500,000
Mhm.
just for our policing.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of different things that we pay for with our taxes, which is getting more difficult to do. So, okay, thank you, everybody. We're going to do this bylaw here to confirm the actions of the meetings held on before February 10th. Would like to move this. Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Resolution 2026-027, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council gives 3 readings and approves bylaw number 2015, being a bylaw to confirm the actions of the meetings held on and prior to February 10th, 2026. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And then we're going to one more to close up. Who would like to move this one?
What is it?
To close the meeting. You can stay here all night if you wish, but I'm not. Councillor Cartwright, seconded by
No, I don't want to
Councillor
leave.
Hurt. I know you don't want to leave. Resolution 2026-028, moved by Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Hart, that this meeting adjourns at 8:42 p.m. to meet on February 24th, 2026 for the next regular meeting or at the call of the mayor. All in favor, opposed, and carried. Thank you, everybody.
Night, Taylor.
Good night,
Thank you.
Taylor.
See you guys.
Bye.